Here comes a new challenger!
Hello there everyone, and welcome to another Smash analysis, and in this one we're going to be talking about Marth. After all, I want you to vote Marth and choose your legends round 5, and so I'm going to be doing maybe a few more Marth related videos. We'll see, but for today's video we're going to be talking about why Marth essentially doesn't function in Ultimate, in my opinion, right? Let's make something clear here. No, I don't think this character is better than Lucina in a tournament setting. I mean, if we're talking like perfect AI, perfect spacing all the time, then sure, I guess he is better than Lucina, obviously, but you can't always rely on those factors, and so I'm going to be describing to you why you can't always rely on those factors. One of the few things that Marth has a problem with is killing, of course, because Marth, you know, as many people will tell you, the tipper's inconsistent, which is true because the tipper, even on some characters, just won't function for whatever reason, right? Sometimes you swear you hit them with the tipper, and then, like there, but in other cases when you're playing against other characters, it treats it like you didn't, for whatever reason, and that's because with Marth's sword, it has 3 hitboxes. 2 sour spots and 1 sweet spot, but the sour spot overlaps the sweet spot, so when both hitboxes connect, you end up getting the sour spot, right? So you have to get the tippity tip of the hitbox, right? That makes sense. That goes for a majority of Marth's moves. Not all of them have 3 hitboxes, some are 2, as an example, but for the most part, that's generally how Marth's moveset works, right? Makes sense. Now, the main issues here is that with the sour spots, I feel personally, the sour spots don't have enough hit stun. That's my opinion, but I personally don't see how they help out Marth. Whereas with Roy, for instance, Roy's sour spots lead into sweet spot combos, right? Like some combos you can do with Roy because of how his sword works, and so even though it's a sour spot, you can still get stuff off of it. But I never feel like this is the case with Marth because of how Marth's sword works and how little hit stun he really has on the base of his blade. Now that is one issue. Another issue is that they took away his kill throw from Smash 4. His kill throw, basically it would kill around like 130, 140 around most midweights. But nowadays, it doesn't even kill until like 170 for most characters, right? Like I can have Roy here at 170 and it won't kill. Now obviously, there will be times where you have rage, but what if you don't have rage and you're just trying to get the kill, without taking much more damage? Obviously, if swinging your sword isn't gonna help, obviously you can condition your opponent to shield, and then, oh, okay, they're shielding, and then you grab them, maybe you pummel them a little bit, but to no avail. So when it comes to it, you can't always rely on killing someone with a throw because Marth's kill throw kills very late. With Roy it's similar, but there's a big difference between the two, and that is a consistent kill confirm. Now Marth had this in Smash 4, which is primarily with jab. This would work with most, if not all, the casts, and it was something that allowed Marth to at least get stocks consistently, right? It was something he needed. Whereas in this game, he doesn't really have consistent kill confirms because one of the main issues is that jab, obviously, first hit of jab it's very fast. It's kind of safe in that sense, right? But like you're not gonna land first hit in air or up air consistently, right? Now sure, you do have one oddball confirm, but again it all relies on DI, and that is sweet spot fair into down air, which I believe works around like 60 because they buffed down smash. They buff down smash tipper, and it kills it obscenely early. I think the back hit's actually even stronger than the front hit. Just to clarify, if I remember that correctly, I think that's how it was. It's just so... Yeah, no, that's definitely stronger. But, you know, there is a way to combo into down smash, which did get stronger in a patch. And because of that, you do have a kill confirmed, but you also have to hope your opponent's DIing the right way. And therefore, you have to react to their DI, and in some cases it will just miss on some characters. So it's not even a universal kill confirm, it's just something that you can do that can kill, but not something you can rely on, basically. Whereas Roy, for instance, Roy at least has jab. Now jab is a single hit move, right? You know, you could think of it as like a keep away type move, right? It's just push your opponent away. Well, you can confirm this into up air, in a fair, in a back air, in a side B. Right? Double edge dance is scary in that sense because, you know, you can literally at ledge just jab, try to react to your opponent's get up option, and punish accordingly. Marth can't really do this because he doesn't really have a safe move like that you can just throw out constantly and not get punished for it. Right? He just doesn't really have that, in my opinion. And when it comes to some of his other moves, such as his dancing blade, it's very awkward to use. Now, why do I say this? Alright, well, you guys tell me if I hit the tipper here or not. Alright, maybe not there. Maybe not there either. Alright, makes sense. Okay. Alright. Oh, what? I'm pretty sure I hit the tipper there. Pretty sure I hit the tipper there. I guess game says no. Okay. Alright, maybe not there. Maybe not there. Let's space it out a little bit. No, ooh, where's the tipper? Where's... Still no? Okay, alright, oh, okay. Alright. So as you can see, okay, makes sense. Now you heard the sound. The hitbox is essentially just a bit outside of the sword, is what I'm trying to get at. That's pretty stupid, which means trying to kill with this can be a hassle and a half, because sometimes you could take a stock at 60, alright, and at other times you'll take a stock at 140, because it just won't work. That's very inconsistent. Even if you try delaying the final hit of the blade, again, very much dependent on DI, you can't always rely on that. Sure, you can angle it to try to get a perfect spacing, right? But again, you can't always rely on that, and that's the problem. With Marth, it's not a matter of when you get tippers, it's a matter of if you get tippers. Sure, you can probably space really well, and obviously offline, no problem, right? But that's also if the game decides to work with you. Some characters, because of how their hurtbox is and how they shift, sometimes you just won't get tippers at all. A prime example would be DK, because DK is very weird with how he reacts when he gets hit, and so things are very awkward when you try to hit him with Marth's tippers. It's very awkward. You know, with Marth, you have little hit stun on your sour spot, so typically you're not always going to be able to rely on comboing from sour spot to sweet spot because it's virtually impossible in most cases. Obviously, like I mentioned earlier, you have first hit fair, but again, you can't always rely on just a landing first hit fair, right? It's just not something you can rely on all the time. And even then, you know, like right there, like my sword clearly went through him. All right, I'm just trying to get a landing up air. All right, please help me, Sakurai. I want to get my landing up air back air, but then you have situations like that where your sword's just not gonna hit. At the very least, when it comes to Lucina has Marth's kit, but has it in a reliable way, right? Because you don't have to rely on tippers, you know. And Lucina's kill power, while yes, it's worse than Marth's tippers, I would rather have a consistent character, a consistent playstyle, than I would having an inconsistent one. In theory, yes, Marth should be better. In theory. But you can't just rely on theories. At least with Roy, yes, there's Chrom. Chrom has a different upbeat, but let's say Chrom had the same upbeat as Roy. It would still not matter because Roy, as a character, functions. Both hitboxes, Sour Spot and Sweet Spot, work with each other. His kill power is obscene, and because he has so many great tools, alright, both used in neutral and at ledge and other such ways, right, Roy is strong. Strong enough that you can pick between him or Chrom. Up to you. You never feel like with those two characters that one is better than the other. Though, I personally believe Roy is better, but that's for a different video for another time. With Marth, you can't rely on hoping to get tippers all the time. And in my opinion, I can't see a world, as of right now, as of the current patch, where Marth is better than Lucina. Because of the inconsistencies that I mentioned, because of his struggling to kill. Sure, you have a frame 1 DP, right? Dragon Punch. You know, having a Dragon Punch is nice and all. Actually, I don't even remember if this has a tipper or not. Though good luck trying to land it, right? Even if it does. But, you know, he has a good out of shield option, which is nice. That's more than what you could say for most characters. Sure. But, let's say Roy shields this, right? And then suddenly I land, he can punish me for it. I mean, you didn't need a F smash, he could just jab and back air me. So, you know, relying on something like that is just not healthy. It's not. So when I ask you guys with pure honesty, would you prefer a risk versus reward, high risk, high reward, versus low risk and high reward? Because that's basically the difference between Marth and Lucina, and that's basically the difference between Marth and Roy. Because Roy is low risk, very high reward. Alright, you get damage, you have combos, you have all these things. Now sure, they play completely different from each other, right? They have similar moves, but they use those moves differently. But the point that I'm trying to make here is that Roy functions, Marth doesn't, both offline and online. Marth, in my opinion, needs a consistent setup that works universally, that is simple to get, right? Not too easy, but not too hard. Because, again, with the setups that he does have, you essentially have to rely on your opponent not pressing a button, right? Or not holding their shield, alright? This move is not something to fear. Alright, it's just a simple shield break. Counters are counters. There's not much to talk about there. Sometimes the counter can whiff depending on the move, and I'm talking about when he does hit a physical move that's up close, so sometimes it'll just whiff for whatever reason. And I mentioned the DP earlier. Get punished, you die, you know? So again, Marth, I hope he gets buffs in the future to allow him to get consistent kill confirms, because here's the thing. I don't want Marth to be bad, but in my opinion, I think he's bad. I think he's not bad, but he's mediocre. He's meh in comparison to Lucina. And if you're looking for a character with a similar-ish playstyle, I'd much rather recommend you Lucina, who's a character that doesn't have to worry about, you know, messing up or struggling to kill, because she doesn't struggle to kill as badly as Marth. No way, alright? And if you want a character that really takes control or uses ultimates, how do I say, engine well, we'll say like that, it's definitely Roy or Chrom. I feel between the four Marths, Marth, Lucina, Roy, and Chrom, Roy is definitely the best one out of all of them, because Roy and how he works with the game is so much better than the other three characters, in my opinion. And that's basically all I have to say. I hope Marth gets a buff. I hope Marth becomes a much better character. I hope Marth has... I just hope Marth is a character that's used more often, because he's like I said, in theory he could be strong, but in practice it's not like that at all. It's just not. You know, this isn't one of those things where it's like, oh, you're misinformed about the character. I've looked a lot into Marth, and I still feel the same way I do about him, because Marth is my favorite sortie. I should stress, I love playing Marth. But if I were to go to a tournament and you told me I had to pick between Marth or Roy or Marth and Lucina, I choose those two over Marth, because that's just what I think of the character. Even if you were to have perfect spacing, you can't rely on that as a human versus another human. I'm just saying. But if you have, well, opinions that are different from mine, let me know in the comments below. Do you think I'm wrong? Do you think I'm right? Let me know. I'm willing to have discussions with y'all in the comments below. Please remember to vote Marth and choose your legends round 5. There's not much time left by the time I upload this video. You know, you have to vote every day. So I hope that you vote, right? Please do. And anyways, I hope you guys take care of yourselves. Be safe out there. Let's try getting to 1,000 subs and have an amazing rest of your day. Peace.
I'm coming through, partner, we can do this right. You're the fire, I'm the wind tonight. Burning dread, haha, that's right, baby, baby.